Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the many movies featuring the Spider-Man character. This one was released in 2018 and features Miles Morales, an incredibly and spectacularly normal boy. And that is exactly what sets him up to be the most flawless lead character imaginable. Let's talk about how this film crafted the perfect protagonist. Real quick, I make content on all different types of movies. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Miles has the most lovable personality. He doesn't take himself too seriously and he embraces his youth. Miles is often singing and making jokes.
Ah, baby, I'm a wreck. You're a wreck.
He lights up a room with his personality. And in a world where everyone is too consumed by trying to act cool, this is a breath of fresh air to see. I'll speak for myself and say that I'd love for more people to be as shamelessly themselves as Miles. But what gives his character depth is how he manages to maintain this sense of energy and fun despite going through dark times.
Woo! That was crazy.
Backstory is so integral in creating a protagonist because it gives the audience context as to where a character came from and how it's impacted who they've become. It's a key factor in why fans love seeing origin stories in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Superheroes are so unrelatable on the surface. They have powers, magic, or an abnormal amount of physical fitness or insane intellect. They face otherworldly issues and deal with problems we could never encounter. But what makes them similar to us is who they were before becoming superheroes and how that shows through beneath their powers and world saving. Heroes aren't born with all the courage, skills, and self-confidence they come to have. They must learn, practice, and develop it, and that's exactly what Miles goes through. In the beginning of the film, Miles is just an ordinary boy. He has disagreements with his parents, struggles with feeling a sense of community in his neighborhood, has school issues, and even struggles with talking to girls. He's discontent with his life and faces the pressures of living up to the expectations and wishes of others. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sets the motif of identity, specifically the development of identity, early in the film, when Miles is assigned an essay about what kind of person he wants to be. But being burdened with expectations you don't feel connected to is going to prevent anyone from growing into their true self. After Miles is bitten by a radioactive spider and gains his spider-like abilities, he goes through a stage of denial.
No. It's not possible. It's just puberty. It's a normal spider and I'm a normal kid.
He attempts to convince himself that everything happening is entirely normal because, well, who wouldn't be freaked out by such intense bodily changes? But also, he's afraid of what it would mean to be Spider-Man. You've likely heard this famous quote by Marianne Williamson.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
These lines quite accurately capture Miles' feelings when he realizes what's happened to him. In Miles' mind, he says that he doesn't want to be a hero.
You're like me.
I don't want to be.
I don't think you have a choice, kiddo.
We've all experienced imposter syndrome at one time or another. It's feeling like you're not good enough for the opportunities you have or how you're perceived. It's the worry that one day you're going to be exposed for being a fraud. What Williamson's quote suggests is that our feelings of inadequacy are actually a shield against admitting to ourselves that we are more than capable. Because as soon as we realize that we're talented and skillful, we must make the important decision of what to do with our abilities. How are we going to use our power? What does it mean for our future? How are we going to live up to our potential? Those are all tough questions to embrace because they place a lot of responsibility and pressure on our shoulders. So instead, we hide behind telling ourselves that we're inadequate. Once Miles recognizes that he's developed his superpowers, he knows that he must rise to the occasion and become a hero because he's been granted the abilities to be one.
Promise me you'll do this. I promise.
This fear and stress is only elevated when the original Peter Parker dies and Miles feels like the city is now counting on him to fill Spider-Man's shoes.
They're counting on me.
A little humility goes a long way, and what makes Miles such an admirable character is how he showcases the insecurity we all have within us. Every single person deals with feeling unknowledgeable, untalented, and to blame for things going wrong, but we don't see how others feel the same. So when we see Miles struggle with self-confidence, we feel bad for him, but we also see ourselves in him.
I'm scared, man. I'm just tired of letting everybody down.
We see him make mistakes time and time again. No one can relate to someone who's got it all figured out. One of the best turning points in the film comes when Miles' dad helps to activate him. Just a few words of encouragement and support gives Miles maybe not the confidence to believe in himself, but the confidence to take a leap of faith.
When do I know I'm Spider-Man?
You won't. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Despite the fact that he's falling, he's actually rising to his potential, and we see that beautifully and cleverly depicted on screen. Sometimes you just need to force yourself into a moment of insane bravery to rise to your full potential, and because of that moment, viewers are given the best payoff. In this stunning sequence, Miles transforms from someone defeated by self-doubt to someone who embraces it and charges forward regardless. We're only going to become who we want to be by testing our limits. Miles knows exactly what he's getting into by taking that leap. He knows it's an uphill battle and that life as the new Spider-Man will not be easy. But he ultimately knows that it's a role that he should play and that he wants to play. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is full of so much action. But what makes it great is that it so deeply focuses on Miles as a person.
Friends?
Friends.
Superhero films can be very plot-driven and depend greatly on spectacular fight scenes and exciting visuals. But this film is more about character than anything. We see Miles experience sadness, hope, rejection, frustration. We see him at his lowest, and then we see how he pulls himself out of it. The overarching theme of the entire movie is that anyone can turn into the version of themselves that they aspire to be. At the beginning of the film, Miles looked up to Spider-Man and would have never believed he could be just as courageous and strong as him. But that's how he transforms to be by the end of the movie. So when Miles tells us in the last seconds of the film that
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask.
he isn't saying to hide. He's saying that he was and is no different to us. Strength, courage, and unimaginable potential is within all of us. We just have to accept it and be brave enough to take the first step towards the person we want to be. And Miles Morales is the perfect bearer of that message.